A standard legal deck with no supporters? Well, I've got one for you. Welcome back everyone to more from the Sable Eyes. I'm Mitch, and today we're going to take a look at a standard legal deck that has 0 supporter cards at all. That is right. We're going to be taking a look at Golurk, which has a really cool attack, which kind of requires us to not play any supporters, but that's okay. We can definitely live with that. It's a really good list. A nice budget one as well, as long as you can get your hands on a couple of Dedenne. It's not too hard to put together. The list's down in the description, as are links to all socials like Twitch and Twitter and TikTok, which is sporadically being updated. Hopefully you like this video. If you do, like it, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Let's jump onto PTCGO now and check out the deck. Here we go, a pretty solid deck list, and as you can see, there's nothing really here that's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Maybe the Dedenne, which is a couple of packs, but you can get them in the Trainer's Toolkit and an Oricorio-GX. But let's talk about Golurk first, because this is the most important card in the deck. It's our main attacker. It's a stage 1 with 140 HP, psychic type, and has a 2 energy attack, which deals 160 damage. That is 2 hitting almost every VMAX in the format. The only thing that we can't knock out in 2 shots is Eternatus VMAX. Fist of Antiquity, incredibly strong, but we can't have supporters in our discard pile, or otherwise this attack does nothing. So rather than playing supporters in our deck and trying to avoid using them, instead we just don't play any supporters. So there's 0 draw supporters, 0 gusting supporters, there's no Malawan Lana, there's no Cynthia Caitlin or Guzmahala, nothing, 0 supporters in the list. And to fix the problems that we're going to have with no supporters, we have to play a lot of draw. Hence we play Oricorio-GX with Dance of Tribute. When our Pokemon gets knocked out, we can draw 3 cards. We have copies of Dedenne to just draw through our deck, and we also have a 4/4 line of Cinccino with the Make Do ability, which allows us to discard a card from our hand and draw 2 cards from the deck. So this is an incredibly cool little attacking line. Golurk obviously can get a lot of damage done, but it does have the consistency problems playing no supporters have with it. Obviously, the Cinccino is good to draw cards. We've also got cards like a Rotom Phone in here to make sure that if we are drawing a couple of cards with Cinccino, we still have a chance to pick one of those cards. So 5 cards off the top of the deck, we can look at one and put it on top, and that way we can guarantee draw into it. You can also put back Pokemon with Ordinary Rod, which we'll need to do. We're a 1 prize attacking deck, so we'll need to do that as well. The real thing that we're going to struggle with is gusting up our opponent's Pokemon. For that, we have Pokemon Catcher. We're playing 4 of those in the deck. It's a coin flip card, but it's our best way of gusting non-GX Pokemon. And then we've got 1 Great Catcher as well. So if they do play a GX Pokemon down, we can gust that up and attack it. This is incredibly good to bring up Dedenne, because Golurk deals 160 damage. Now, 140 HP is quite a lot, but since we have 4 Retreat, we can also play Buff Padding, which increases our HP by 50. So we have a 1 prize Pokemon that has 190 HP. That is nothing to sneeze at, and some VMAX Pokemon won't even be able to knock this out. So consider the fact that things like Inteleon can only hit for 160. Lots of Pokemon will struggle to hit into this thing with Buff Padding on it, and we also resist fighting, so Colossal and Phalanx decks are not too hard for us to do with either. Worst case scenario, we lose a bunch of prizes and we can reset stamp our opponent down to a low hand size. This card is really cool. I'll preface this whole video by saying you probably won't win every game, but when you do win them, you'll enjoy it. I've got a couple of them for you today. We're just going to go for 2 because they're quite long. As I record the beginning of the video, I've actually already recorded the end of the video, so I know what's going to happen, but you don't. So we're gonna go on this magical journey together, except I obviously already know how magical it's gonna be. Let's play some games on the ladder with Golurk and see if we can't get a win. Oh, it's a secret. We win. We actually managed to win. It's pretty good. Okay, here we go. We've got a decent-ish start here. We're going first, which we want to do. We want to make sure that we've got Pokemon on the field. I'm going to Rotom Phone here. We'll put the Minccino on the top. The reason I did that is to guarantee a Great Ball here. We definitely want Minccino because we can play that down next turn, get a Cinccino and a Golurk in play. We are playing against Colossal, so I'm not worried that we're going to get knocked out next turn, which is the reason that I made that play. If I didn't get a Minccino there, then it would have been a little bit more awkward, but we still would be fine. Now, I feel like this is actually a decent matchup for us. Obviously, Colossal is going to reduce the amount of damage output that we deal, but they're gonna struggle to knock out a Golurk. They're gonna have to 2-hit a 1-prize Pokemon, which is obnoxious for a VMAX, because we do have resistance. Unless they have 4 energy on them, they won't be able to put up too much pressure on us. So I feel like this game is winnable. It's just a matter of whether or not we can avoid boss's orders and things like that, so that we don't lose the Dennes and Cinccinos on the bench. That's going to be the biggest problem for us. Looks like they're setting themselves up quite nicely. That Crobat coming down, drawing some more cards. I'm going to switch, which is a little bit annoying because it means that we might need to hit into a Crobat rather than the Colossal, which I really would have preferred. They play down Chaotic Swell. That's not too big of a deal for us. Not too worried about that. Okay, it's our turn. Let's see how we go here. Top deck another Golurk. That's a little bit unfortunate, but we do at least have Cinccino on the field as well. Triple acceleration and then the Dedenne-GX, the draw 6. We can always get that Golurk back later on. Golett goes down. I think we play... we use the Make Do ability to discard a Cinccino. Draw a couple of cards and then take a look at what we've got afterwards. This is not a great hand, but it's acceptable. I'm going to... actually, I should probably... no, I don't need to because they can't knock me out anyway. We're just going to attack with Fist of Antiquity into this Crobat. We don't take the knockout, which is unfortunate. Crobat obviously has 180 HP, but there is no way that we would be able to knock that thing out without playing things like Zigzagoon, or potentially like a... not Muscle Band, but whatever that band is these days. What's it called? Vitality Band? Can't even remember. Our opponent's gone to 0 cards in their hand, though, which is pretty good. They're going to Eruption Shot, even though they get the energy. They do not knock us out, which is really, really good. This means here we can play the buff padding down onto the benched Golett and grab another Golurk out of the deck, which means we are set and ready to go for our next turn. And we just have to kind of hope here that our opponent doesn't have access to another energy. If they don't, they might struggle to actually knock us out. Let's Great Ball here, see if we can't find another Minccino. Perfect. We can put that down. That means we'll have 2 Cinccinos next turn. We'll attach the triple acceleration energy because this Golurk is probably getting knocked out next turn and deal 160 damage. We're going to need to 3-hit this thing. Oh, sorry, 140 because of the stone energy. We're going to have to 3-hit this Colossal. But let's put it this way. If they top-decked Amani, did they really do that just now? Is that really what just happened? That's very disappointing. But they're going to have to 2-hit most of our Pokemon if they choose to Eruption Shot, which is their main way of getting energy accelerated. And eventually we'll be able to remove that Colossal from play, and we should be in front on prizes. So I'm hopeful that this is a positive situation to be in here, but, you know, we'll wait and see. So, do they have an energy? They've attached one. Here's the Eruption Shot. They get the extra stone and knock out the Golett. There's that frame. That hasn't happened for ages. What is that update? That's okay. We'll ignore it. It'll go away. Evo Incense. Grab ourselves a Cinccino here. We can grab 2 of those. I think I want a Great Ball first. Do I want a Great Ball first? No, let's make do. Let's get rid of this Pokemon Catcher. We want to attack into the active regardless. This is not great. Let's make do again. We'll get rid of the U-Turn Board. We don't really need that here. Oricorio is what I was looking for. That's fantastic. There it goes. This is weird. Dance of Tribute will draw a couple of cards for us. We can quick ball away a Great Catcher. Probably not required here. And grab ourselves a Golett. That means we are set for an attacker next turn. We can attach the triple acceleration energy, retreat into our Golurk, and attack again. We'll do 120 this time, so 260 total damage, which means that next turn we'll be able to knock out their Colossal. We'll take 3 prizes whilst they've only taken 2, which is super, super good for us. And then we can potentially use the Great Catchers, the Pokemon Catchers in our hand to knock out the Crobat and also a Oranguru to try and win the game, but we'll have to wait and see. We want to try and get ourselves multiple Golurks going here, and this is actually quite awkward because we only have 1 Golurk left in the deck. We might need to find ourselves a copy of Ordinary Rod to try and get some more Golurks into the deck if we can. But I actually feel relatively confident. I think we can win this game. We'll need to rely on some coin flips with Pokemon Catcher, but I think we can win. I think we can win. I hope we can win. I hope we can. We shall wait and see. Our opponent taking a little bit of time here to get going. I'm going to switch into Crobat. That's an odd choice. Wonder why they're doing that. Attaching an energy to Colossal, you would think that they probably... Okay, so they've got a Pokemon communication. Are they just going to use another Crobat here? It's going for another VMAX. Okay. Oh, they're going to try and attack with the benched one. If you attack with the benched one... Oh, they've got a Dedenne. Oh, we got rid of the Great Catcher. Oh, that's so disappointing. Oh, no. Okay, we would have almost guaranteed ourselves a good board position if we had the Great Catcher, because then we'd only need one coin flip off of Pokemon Catcher to win this game. Because they will have to promote their damaged Colossal in order to get a knockout. They actually choose to boss's orders up the Oricorio, and frankly, I don't mind about that at all. It's not too big of a deal. It means we get to keep our Golurk, which was the biggest issue for us next turn. And we can always just put that Oranguru, that Oricorio back in the deck with Ordinary Rod, so that's fine. Okay, let's make do here. We'll get rid of the Cherish Ball. I don't think we really need that anymore. Reset Stamp's pretty good. We can get our opponent down to 3 cards. We'll also attach a Twin Energy so that we can attack this time. We want to take a knockout. And then I think we make do... yeah, I think we need to make do to try and find that Ordinary Rod. Probably get rid of, like, Great Ball. We don't really need that as such. Okay, cool. We'll just play one, I guess. Oh my god, we just found the last Golurk regardless. Okay, this is perfect. We can just throw that down, and we can retreat into our powered Golurk. Fist of Antiquity, the Colossal in the active, and I actually don't think that there's a way for our opponent to take a knockout on our Golurk this turn. Right, because they've got, what, 2 energy on their benched Colossal, so they can't get 4, which is their only way of knocking us out. They have to gust and get an energy on the top of the deck to take a knockout this turn. And if they do that, you know what, they do it, it's fine. But I genuinely think we may be in a position where they cannot knock out our Golurk this turn, which would be massive for us. A Mimikyu off of the quick quick ball. That's not particularly useful for them. That's probably like fodder for another discard card. Maybe like a research or something could be coming here. Be a bit disappointing if they get stamped to 3 and just research out of it. But as you know, when you play reset stamp, you never get what you want, so you should never expect to get what you want. Galarian Surfetch, that is an interesting card. That is a way that they could actually... Oh no, they won't get a knockout. I was about to say they could get a knockout with that, but they'll actually be 1 damage counter short. They'll do 180. That reset stamp is frustrating. Gets rid of our energy, so if they do find a way to knock us out, then we'll be in trouble. But we've got... Are they just going to give us the Dedenne? They're just giving us the Dedenne! Oh my word! Okay, here we go. So, make do. Get rid of Cinccino. Draw some more cards. We've got buff padding, which we can put on the bench Golurk. We do not need this second reset stamp, but we probably save it just in case. We'll get rid of the Minccino. You never know. I like playing down this Golett here. It means that we've got potentially another attacker if our opponent does go for it. And then I think we just take the knockout. Because what are they realistically going to do this turn? Like, they need to top deck an energy to win, to take the knockout. But if they top deck an energy and take the knockout, we've got a turn and a half to try and draw into a Pokemon Catcher and flip heads to win the game. So we're in a really good spot to try and win. Oh my goodness, that's the second time that they've drawn into Marnie off of a dead hand, a hand of 0. That is obnoxious. But we've been given the 2 cards that we need to win, right? We've been given Pokemon Catcher and an energy. So even if they do knock out our Golurk in the active, we still have a potential win condition on a coin flip. But I'd rather win on a coin flip by using Pokemon Catcher than win on a coin flip by denying my opponent energy. I feel like it's a little bit fairer, because, you know, I give up the consistency of a supporter to use the Pokemon Catcher. It's not like I'm deciding between Crushing Hammer and Team Yellgrunt in a deck. Alright, we promote the Cinccino. Hopefully, oh, we've got 2 catches. That means we've got better odds. We did it, everyone. We did it. I was wondering how long it was going to take for us to win a game here, but we get one on our first try. We win against Colossal Golurk. It's pretty good. No supporters, and we won. We're into the game here. We've got a pretty good start, a Golett, and a couple of Mincinos. We've got lots of Pokemon Searcher as well. We can get Oricorio. Ooh, another Golett. I like that. So we've got our board pretty much set up. We'll just Rotom Phone here to give ourselves a good top deck. Oh, there's quite a lot of good cards here. I think Golurk is the best one. Guarantee that we evolve next turn. We've got Oricorio, we've got the Dedenne, we've got another Rotom Phone. We are looking good. I do not know what our opponent is playing here. I'm just seeing a Dedenne-GX and a Welder. Okay, so we could be looking at Blacephalon. We could be looking at Centiskorch or Reshizard. We're about to find out. This quick ball will find something. I think Blacephalon is the one that we want the most, so of course we're playing Centiskorch. But this is going to be fine as long as they don't play things like Heat Fire Energy. That could make it very awkward, okay? I shouldn't have said anything, because I believe we can two-shot a Centiskorch without Heat Fire Energy, which would have been incredible, but that's not happening. So let's just ignore it and hope that we can get something off of the Rotom Phone. Bunch of good cards here. I think Golurk is still the best one. That way we can guarantee our second attacker. I'd really like to see an energy off of this Dedenne though. That would be great. Just to get the knockout would be perfect. This is actually a really good hand. We could actually use Pokemon Catcher here to put some damage on that Centi if we want to, but frankly, I think we just want to make do and discard one of them. Take the knockout on Dedenne. It might be able to give us enough momentum to get ahead in this game, and I'll Rotom Phone the Twin Energy to the top so that next turn I can attack as well regardless of what we find. So we'll take the knockout. We'll hope that they don't have Energy and VMAX in their 5-card hand. It's likely that they do, but they can't play Dedenne down anytime soon, because if they do, we'll take another 2 prizes. Then we just need to find 2 more somewhere. So it shouldn't be too hard. The worst part is, because that Centiskorch has now 2 Heat Fires on it, we are going to struggle to get the 2-shot. Obviously, we attack for 160 damage. 160 damage is pretty good when it has 320 HP, because that's an exact 2-hit. But instead, this Centiskorch has an extra 40 HP with those Heat Fires. Maybe we will be able to get like an attack with a Cinccino or something at some point in the game to make the numbers nice and survive a bit, like save a Golurk potentially. We'll try and do that. We'll wait and see. But yeah, if we knock this Centiskorch out, if they ever play another Dedenne down, we can gust it up and win the game. So it's going to be good. We still need to attack 4 times, but to be fair, so does our opponent to win the game. So it is not a terrible situation that we're in. Plus, we can reset stand into a really low hand size because we are expecting that they will take quite a few prizes before we take our remaining 4. So I'm feeling alright. I'm feeling okay. We're guaranteed the energy off of the top deck, which is great. And we can use Oricorio plus a Cinccino to draw some cards. This is actually pretty good. So we'll promote the Golurk. We know we're getting the energy, so there's no need to pretend with that Cinccino. We'll Dance of Tribute and grab 3 more cards. Second Cinccino is incredible. We can make do. We'll get rid of Cherish Ball. We do not need that with the Dedenne in our hand. We will also make do away the Minccino. I'm looking for another Golett here, or at least to give ourselves a chance to get one off of this Great Ball. Hopefully we get one. No Golett. Okay. That's awkward, to say the very least. Alright. We're going to attach the Triple Acceleration Energy. We're going to attack here. And I think what I was saying before about that Cinccino attacking could be next turn. Because obviously our opponent will knock out our Golurk. We'll promote Cinccino with the board, attach the Twin Energy, attack for 40. And then we'll still have time to find another Golett to evolve into our Golurk. And as long as they don't put another Heat Fire on the active, we can actually still get the knockout with that play. So it's not the end of the world that we didn't find the Golett, but, you know, I would have preferred to have found one, frankly. What's our opponent doing? Not a lot at this stage. Like, I want to say that the worst thing that they can do is gust out the Oricorio, but if they gust the Oricorio, then we can just attack with Fist of Antiquity, so it's fine. If they gust up the Cinccino, that's not a problem. They gust up the Dedenne, not a problem. They knock out the Golett. We've actually got a plan. We've got a plan for every eventuality here. The only eventuality that I haven't planned for is if they pass. And if they pass, then I'll just attack, and that's the plan. So we have a plan. They haven't played down another Dedenne yet, which I don't like. I'd really like them to do that if they could. VMAX sent to Inferno, okay. So they take the knockout. We're going to go for the Cinccino play because we have almost run out of attackers. We are going to need to find one soon. Let's Dance of Tribute. We'll try and find ourselves a Golett, please. No Golett. That's disappointing. We can Rotom Phone to try and find one. Quick Ball. Excellent. That is perfect. Then we can make do twice here. We'll grab exactly the card we need. I don't think Dedenne is going to be required in this one. Quick Ball. We can play that. I feel like getting rid of, like, I think Pokemon Catcher is fine. Realistically, we only want to use Great Catcher in this game. We can play down a Golett. We can make do again. I think that probably the Incense is fine. We've already got the Golurk in hand. And we find a second Golett as well. That is super, super good. Then we'll attach the twin to Cinccino. And we'll reset Stamp to 4 just to make life a little bit more difficult. The last thing we want is another Heat Fire getting attached to that Center Scorch. And then Energy Assist. That will put the Center Scorch in the active within range of being knocked out. But that Heat Fire Energy is very frustrating. Plus 20 extra. So it means that we can't afford to see another Heat Fire on this Center Scorch right now. Sorry, I'm just playing around. Excuse me for a second. I just dropped a thing on the floor and I need to pick it up. Ugh. It is the lid of a bottle. There you go. It's a bit of a look into my life at the moment. It's a lid. Comment down below if you know the drink of which this lid belongs to. No prize, just understanding what's going on over here. They're using Eldegoss. Okay, what are they going to go for with Eldegoss? Maybe just a Welder to get another attacker powered up, potentially. Seems like a pretty good way to go. They're going to Welder onto probably the second Center Scorch. That seems like the most likely option. And the annoying thing is that they've not left space for a Dedenne, which means that they... Oh my goodness, they put the Heat Fire on the bench! Wow, they could have just completely destroyed us by attaching that to the active. Wow, okay, so we promote the Golurk. The Golett. Sorry, it's Golurk soon. Now it's Golurk. So we can take a knockout here. We can attach the twin. I like the Dance of Tribute. We'll get that going now. I really want to see a second Golurk. We've got that with the Incense, actually, so we can just Quick Ball and thin away the Incense. Why did I thin away the Incense? What did I do that for? I wanted the... Oh my goodness, I'm an idiot. Sorry, guys. This is Misplaced City. Never punished, though. I've got the Incense back now. I can always use that. I don't want to use it now. I'm just going to sit back and wait. No, I'm not going to. That's a lie. I'm not going to do that. We're going to grab it. It's only reasonable to do that. I can't believe that I didn't get punished for that. That was terrible. I'm going to attach a U-Turn Board to the Oricorio. That's our worst gust target for our opponent. Best gust target for our opponent. If they knock that out, then that would be frustrating. Let's take 3 prizes. Now, best case scenario for us, they play down a Dedenne to try and get the knockout on this Golurk. That's the best case scenario. Middling scenario, they gust the Oricorio, then we reset Stamp and gust out something and hope for the best. I feel like they've used a lot of resources already. We might be able to steal a march here. They've got 1 scoop up. That's okay. So maybe they're gonna reset Stamp us to 1. Okay, that's bad. We really have to hope that they don't knock out the Oricorio now. They get the knockout with the Center Scorch. Let's see how this is gonna go. We'll put the Oricorio in the active. Double Ordinary Rod seems like 2 bad cards to have at this point in time. Twin Energy seems pretty good. Okay, let's make do. We'll get rid of Ordinary Rod. And we find a reset Stamp. That's relatively large. I think we're going to play down Chaotic Swell. We're going to... Oh my goodness, this is such an awkward turn. I think I'm actually going to retreat into the Cinccino and Stamp. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to bait our opponent into using a Dedenne. So if our opponent uses a Dedenne to try and draw cards, then we can maybe win the game. If that doesn't happen, we're probably going to lose. But also Cinccino is the least valuable Pokemon on our board, so I feel like this is a fine play. Attacking with the Golurk would have achieved nothing, and at least attacking with the Cinccino gives us an option if they do make an error, like playing the Dedenne down. Let's think. They've not played a supporter yet. They've attached to a Crobat. Okay, so they may not have anything good in their hand. Let's see what we can get. We've got a Great Catcher. That provides us with an interesting option. And a buff padding as well. Let's just Evo Incense and see what we've got left, just to remove it from the deck. We can always discard this with a Great Catcher. Let's Great Catcher up the Heatran here. Attach. We can retreat. We've got a chance to win. If they can't get out of the active, we'll put the U-Turn Board down as well, and then we'll Fist of Antiquity. 160 damage, and if they can't get this Heatran out of the active, I think we win. They didn't do anything last turn. Doesn't mean that they can't do anything now. Just means that it's a little awkward for them. They need to have 3 energy to retreat. Pokemon, Jirachi. Maybe they go for that Dedenne now. No, nothing. Thinning out the hand for another Crobat. Just a pass. They couldn't get out. We did it, everyone. Whew. I don't know. Sometimes it just comes up that way and we win. So I like it. So there you go. 2 decent games with Golurk. It's a little bit of a shorter one. I played 3 or 4 games and all of them went for like 12 minutes. So I didn't want to put them all in because that would be way too long a video. But still, an enjoyable one. 2 solid wins with a Pokemon that has with a deck that has no supporters, and you can pick up right now on PTCGO super cheap. There you go. Thank you everyone for coming past. As always, if you haven't already, please subscribe, like the videos, share with your friends, do all the good stuff, and I'll see you next time for more from the Sableyes. Bye.